Hello there, this is Tesla Travis, and today we're going to be talking about my new solar system that I just got. I bought 12.24 kilowatts of solar for my house. We're going to be talking about why I bought solar, the ordering process, and whether I got a backup battery or I'm using the grid. We're going to talk about the installation and show plenty of video of that. We're going to be going through the entire cost of solar and any incentives that I received for that, the year's payback that I will have paid off this solar, and any regrets or dislikes about the solar, and could it be right for you? So let's talk about it. So why did I buy solar? People buy solar for different reasons. Some people just want to save money through getting solar. Other people do it for environmental reasons. Some people do it because it's more stable than the grid where they live. And other people just want to be completely off grid. So why did I get solar? My main reason was to save money. When I first looked into solar, it looked very expensive. Wasn't really sure about it, but after doing all the research, I found out that solar will cost me much less than paying my electric bill. So for me, it was definitely a money issue. Plus, it's kind of cool, right? The sun comes up, energizes your house. Pretty cool. But yeah, and it's great for the environment. So, I mean, that's always a plus. But to be honest, it was really to save money. And when deciding to get solar, one of the things you're going to want to look into is the size of your roof, how much sun your roof gets. If you're installing it on the roof, some people install it on their property. But I was installing it on my roof. I went to Google Project Sunroof. That's a website. And Google will show how much sun your house gets on your roof to see if it's right for solar. You got to look at the cost of the solar versus using the power company. That's definitely a big decision right there. For me, it was. It's all about price and your electricity needs. I bought an electric car a few years ago. I was starting to notice electric cars, and I noticed that was the future. And I saw that I was looking at specifically the Tesla, even though I looked at all of them. I was going to get a Honda Civic, and I was doing the research, and I found out that my Tesla Model 3 that I got, the price of the car was about 10,000 difference. The Honda Civic was around 26,000 that I wanted to get, and the Model 3 started about 36,000. So the price was about 10,000 difference. And once you calculate in all the gas for the Honda Civic and all the maintenance for the Honda Civic, all that on top of the price of the Honda Civic, I found out that over 5 years, I would pay the same amount for the Tesla that I would for the Honda Civic. It'd be about even for my commute. I would drive 30 miles to work, 30 miles home. So 60 miles a day, that gas expense plus all the maintenance, oil changes, smog checks, timing belts, all that fun stuff with the gas car, So I found out the electric car would be cheaper. And so once I found out that my electricity needs were going to be going up because we're going to be changing all our cars over to electric, plus living in Southern California, electricity rates go up every year. With the whole climate change thing, we use more air conditioner. It's hotter than it's ever been during the summer. And then during the winter, we barely get a winter anymore, barely rains, barely gets cold. So we're using much more electricity. So as our electricity needs were going up, the cost of electricity was going up. And I saw solar, and I saw that I priced everything out and made total sense. I'll save, thousands and thousands of dollars over paying the power company by getting solar. So that's going to work out for me where I live. One of the big questions that come up with getting solar is, should you get a battery backup? The reason you would get a battery backup is some people, the sun comes up during the day, and so you use the solar power during the day. Well, at night, you don't have light, so they have a battery backup. They will put it in their house, and at nighttime, they will run off that battery, and then during the day, the sun comes back up, and they use their solar panels. Well, if you're off-grid, you would need a battery backup for nighttime. I'm not off-grid. I am tied to the grid, so I use solar during the day, and I use the grid at night. So I don't really have a need for a backup battery. I don't get power outages at all. So a power outage would be another reason to get a backup battery, but I don't ever get them. If we do get them, I mean, it's like really quick. It's like off for 30 seconds or less than less than that. So if you had a place where you had a lot of power outages, or you were off grid, that would be a reason to get a backup battery. But I've I'm tied to the grid. So basically the way it works is I overproduce energy during the day when the sun's up, and I send all that to the grid during the day, all of my excess energy. And then at night I pull it back from the grid to power my house, charge my car, and all that kind of stuff. And because I produce way more than I use, I end up not paying for any electricity. And then at the end of the year, I get money back for all that excess energy from the electric company. They don't pay you much for it, but you know, it's I'm guessing with what my system is, I'll probably get back 150, $250 at the end of the year. The billing cycle is 1 year, so all year long you do net metering, what you send versus what you receive. Whatever you net in energy with that, you'll consolidate that at the end of the year if you owe them or they owe you. And since I overproduce, I should be getting back, I'm guessing $150, $250 at the end of the year. So I will never have electric bill again. So that's kind of nice.
I ordered my solar panels through Tesla Solar. They said they have the lowest cost. All you have to do is go to their website, put in your home address and your average electric bill, and they will put a suggestion for the right size system for you. Once you order your system, they'll do a home assessment, a permit, installation, inspection, and utility approval. And then after that, you get to power it on. I was very excited about this. So as I was waiting, I noticed that in town we had a Tesla store that opened up for service, which is always great to have it in town. My dog was excited for the solar too, as you can tell, trying to stay warm in the winter. When Tesla first came out, they inspected my house and made sure that the roof and everything was good and did some measurements. So after they came out and measured everything, it was setting the date. It took about 4 or 5 months from the time I ordered till the time they started installing the panels. It took 2 days for them to install the panels. I had a big system, 12.24 kilowatt. The smaller systems would usually only take 1 day install, but the install went very well. The people that installed were very professional, friendly, very fast, very clean with their work, explained everything to me. They came up to me and explained everything before they did it, told me what they were going to do, how long it was going to take, answered all my questions. Very nice guys and girls. There was everyone doing it, so it was great. As they were on the roof, I was taking pictures and video, and it's really interesting to watch. My neighbors would watch, people would come by and ask questions, but the whole experience went very well. As they were installing, we were waiting on the power company to come and install a GMA net meter. So the power company, you know, it's kind of hard to get everyone scheduled at the same time on the same day, within, you know, hours of them working. So if you've ever been around construction and have different people doing it, you know how hard it is to get to everyone together. But it all went pretty good. They installed everything. And the power company, I think, came a couple days later. They were supposed to come earlier, but that's just scheduling issues. As you can see, the guys are climbing up on the roof and installing them. As I'm watching them, they have, you know, safety cables and everything, but as I watched them, I was nervous for them falling off, but they did a great job, and they didn't seem to be bothered by the heights at all. I guess when you do it every day, that's kind of how it works. But yeah, everything went really well, as you can see from these pictures and video. They taped everything off to keep people out of the fall zone in case anything fell off the roof or people. They just wanted very, very safe. They taped everything off right away, and then before they started installing. And I just watched everything. It was very, very fun and interesting. So it was nice to have time off to be able to watch all of this happen. I was curious to the supplies they had, the solar panels. Were they using inverters or power optimizers and all these things? And looks like they used power optimizers. I don't have any obstructions, shadows that really hit my roof. I got a little bit of a chimney and There's no palm trees or anything that block my roof too much, so it's pretty clear. It'll be easy to keep the panels clean. I don't get much brush or dirt or stuff that falls on my roof. Typically, you have to, clean your solar panels if they get dirty. That's really the only maintenance. But I don't see me maybe once a year, twice a year. Just put some water on them and clean them. That's really all you got to do. The solar panels looked really good. I like the edges of them, very clean. I like the way they laid them out. When they first inspected my roof, they thought they'd put all the solar panels up on the top roof and none on the lower left side of the roof, but they found out that my chimney was in the way. Apparently, when they took pictures of the roof and the inspector saw it, they didn't notice that the chimney blocked some of the panels they wanted to put up top. So they just asked me, hey, do you want to not put the panels up there? Do you want to put them on your lower roof? And I said, sure, go ahead and put them on the lower roof. And these are the panels right here that they put on. They're pretty big. Those are the back of them. Just a lot of people are curious what Tesla solar panels look like, and Tesla doesn't make these solar panels. These are the specs for the solar panels. They're Q cells, and this is a good visual here of the front and back of them, a close-up look. Tesla, I think, orders these from other manufacturers. They do make their own solar tiles, which is different than solar panels. But yeah, this is the panel right here. Get a nice close-up look. See what they look like. They're very big. Like seeing them carry them up the ladder and put them on the roof is a little awkward being that high, but they did a great job. These are the railings they put up and the power cable going across the front of the house there. They told me where they were going to install everything in the beginning, and I didn't think much of it, but after it was installed, I wish I would have had the power conduit on the side of the house instead of the front, but I'm not that big into looks. Here's the inverter and the power shut off. That's what the inside of the inverter looks like, Solar Edge inverter. They painted the conduit and the box to pretty close match my house, and this is a good look. Going all the way over to my net meter, my new net meter. This is the cable they left for the power company to come and install the net meter and GMA, so that's a good visual of it. You can see the conduit up there on the front of the house. Should have had it done on the side, but what are you going to do? There's a good visual of the panels on the lower roof. Here's a picture of the Southern California Edison employee and the Tesla employee there to help out, but they're installing the GMA and net meter. And once that's installed, that's the last hardware step that I need. This is a picture of it all installed and finished and painted. This is the Tesla Solar Gateway. It's a internet box that connects to your inverter and your router, and it monitors your production of your solar. As you can see, I connected it right to my router. This was all done right around Christmas time, so I was pretty excited. Nice Christmas present for solar. I even got a Christmas present of a new Elon Musk coffee mug, so that was pretty cool. There were some tiles left up on the roof, so the Tesla employee came to grab some of the extra tiles that they replaced that were broken. So that was pretty cool. Seeing them up on that ladder, I keep thinking it's dangerous. My neighbor and I were celebrating with some Tesla Kila. Very excited to have the solar system all installed and finished, and this is a nice look for it. Got an aerial view of what the finished product looks like.
Now we'll talk about the cost of my solar system. I bought my solar through Tesla. It's always good to price around to see how much solar costs and get different bids, but Tesla says they have the cheapest price and they will price match anyone, which I found to be true. They were the cheapest price by far. The total price of the 12.24 kilowatt system was $23,500, plus about $800 in tax. I know they don't tax everything. I think the labor or the parts get taxed, so it's not the entire, that's why it's only $800. So it was a total of $24,300 all in on the solar. Now, when you buy solar right now, as of January 2021, you get a 26% tax credit. That's 26% of the $23,500. That equals out to about $6,100. So that's just a tax credit. It's not a rebate, it's a tax credit. Big difference. Rebate, they send you a check. A tax credit is money that you can use to pay your tax liability at the end of the year when you do your taxes. You can talk to your tax professional about that. I don't make much money, so it's hard for me to use the $6,100 to pay my taxes because I don't owe much in the year since I don't make much. But a great thing that you can split that up over 2 years. So over 2 years, if I pay $3,000 one year and maybe $3,100 the next year in taxes, I can use that entire tax credit. So that really worked out in that way. Plus, I got $500 as I'll get a check from Tesla for that. So I used my own referral. I have a Tesla car and they give you a referral code. So when I bought the Tesla Solar, I used my own referral code. At that time, the promotion was $250 for using the referral code, and the person whose referral code you use is $250, which is me. So I also got $500 back for that. So the $24,300 minus the 26% tax credit minus the $500 Tesla referral, my net cost is $17,700 out the door for the solar panels. So that was kind of my price. And so you really want to look at your yearly cost to the power company. How much did you pay a year to the power company? I paid between maybe $1,800 and $2,000 before, but now that I have the electric car and electricity rates are going up and we're using the air conditioner more, I'm going to see with that $17,700, my payback should be right about 8 years. In 8 years, I will have paid what I would have paid the power company is the same amount that my solar cost. So that's about an 8-year payback is what I'm estimating. After I do a whole year of this solar, I'll redo the numbers. I'll post a video on it to see how accurate that was. We plan on getting more electric cars too, so we'll see how that works out. But my system is much bigger than my needs, and because I'm planning for the future of more electric cars and stuff, so that's kind of how that worked out. The electric company, Southern California Edison is my electric company. They pay maybe somewhere between 2.5 to 4.5 cents per kilowatt when you sell it back to the power company from your solar. It's not much money, so you don't really want to buy extra solar to do that because you're really not, making much money on it. It's something, but it's not a lot. But that's just for anyone who wants to know, how much does the power company pay you for excess solar? It's not one-to-one. It's not, what you buy it for and what you sell it for is not the same. So you buy it for a lot more than what you sell it for. So, but that's just a little extra money for excess. So you always want to get a system that covers your needs and a little bit more for a couple reasons. One, you don't want to be short, right? You don't want to be paying for solar and be paying for power from the power company. Now you're paying 2 bills. With my solar system, it's bigger than I need. So what I paid for the solar system will end ever paying for electricity again. I'll never have to pay for electricity to the power company. I won't pay all year, and then they'll send me a check for my excess at the end of the year. And that was the goal, to get that 8-year payback, which the money they send you at the end of the year, that goes into your payback, and I've calculated that in. So we'll see in a year how that works out. Hopefully my calculation was good, but we'll find out in a year. So far, so good. I've only had the solar system on for less than a month, but I'm producing way more than I'm using. So far, so good. All right, so do I have any regrets or dislikes about solar? I don't have any regrets. I bought a solar system and instead of paying the power company. That was kind of the whole plan, and I'm going to be saving thousands of dollars, and I'll never pay for electricity again, the rest of my life, or as long as I stay in this house, which you never know how long that is. But with the 8-year payback, I think that's a good deal. I'll be here for at least 8 years, so it'll be a wash at 8 years, and then beyond that is just free electricity. So that's always good to save money. One thing that happened is with the Tesla Solar app, they talk about the power flow. So how much power comes in from your solar panels and goes to your house or goes back out to the grid. And they used to have an app that would show you how all that power flow worked. Well, they discontinued that in October. So now you can see the production from your solar panels to see how much energy they produce. And that's all it shows. It does not show the power flow of how much of the electricity that your solar produces that goes into your house and how much of it goes back to the grid, which I was looking forward to. And they called that a power blaster, and they discontinued that. It's a hardware thing they install, and they discontinued that. So I didn't really like that they didn't tell me that in the beginning, but it's really no big deal. I guess it's, once you monitor solar, you monitor it for a little while and you probably forget about it, but I'll be checking it month to month, year to year, to see what it's producing. But if I really want to know how much is going back to the grid, I can always check my power meter on the side of the house. I can always look at my electric bill from Southern California Edison, see how much I've sent there or brought back. It gives you that information. It just makes it a little bit more difficult to do, but you can still figure that stuff out. But yeah, really like the solar. Glad I did it. I'll never pay for electricity again, and with electric car, I'll never pay for gas again. And for me, it was really about saving money. I just saw it, an overall cost savings. So that's kind of why I jumped into it. And it's been a fun experience and really, really enjoyed it so far. Well, is solar right for you? Well, we all have to make our own decisions. For me, again, it was cost savings. So if you want to see if it's right for you financially, if you buy solar, will you save money? You really got to calculate it out. See if you have a right place to put the solar. Do you get enough sun? Look at how much electricity you use through your power company, your power bill. You can look back at a year's power, how much power you've used, how much it's cost, and run the numbers and see if it's right for you. And everybody does things for different reasons, but for me it was about cost savings, and I'll be saving thousands of dollars. So for me it worked out. Hope this video helped you out and gave you some information. Any questions, leave them in the comments, and hopefully we'll get them answered. All right, take care.